Hello, welcome back. Amanda with Gen X Alaska. I think this is our final video in this series, reading the Alaska State Constitution. So there's a section at the very end, and it's called Schedule of Amendments. And it has the date that it was in the election, the subject of the amendment, the provisions it affected, the resolution number, votes for, votes against, and then it lets you know which ones were approved and which ones failed. So that is very, very interesting. Then we have Appendix A Ordinances. Appended to the Constitution were 3 ordinances which dealt with 1. Ratification of the Constitution, 2. Adoption of the Alaska-Tennessee Plan, and 3. Abolition of fish traps. The ratification ordinance simply placed the Constitution on the ballot for ratification by the voters. The Alaska-Tennessee Plan provided for the immediate election of 2 senators and a representative who, although not official members of the Congress, could promote the cause of statehood in Washington, D.C. The ordinance prohibiting fish traps reflected widespread opposition in Alaska to fishing practices condoned by federal fishery managers, and it was designed to rally support for statehood and the Constitution among the voters. Ordinance 1. Ratification of Constitution. Section 1. Election. The Constitution for the State of Alaska, agreed upon by the delegates to the Alaska Constitutional Convention on February 5, 1956, shall be submitted to the voters of Alaska for ratification or rejection at the territorial primary election to be held on April 24, 1956. The election shall be conducted according to existing laws regulating primary elections so far as applicable. Section 2. Ballot. Each elector who offers to vote upon this Constitution shall be given a ballot by the election judges who will be separate from the ballot on which candidates in the primary election are listed. Each of the propositions offered by the Alaska Constitutional Convention shall be set forth separately but on the same ballot form. The first proposition shall be as follows. Shall the Constitution for the State of Alaska prepared and agreed upon by the Alaska Constitutional Convention be adopted? Yes or no? Section 3. Canvass. The returns of this election shall be made to the governor of the Territory of Alaska and shall be canvassed in substantially the manner provided by law for territorial elections. Section 4. Acceptance and approval. If a majority of the votes cast on the proposition favor the Constitution, then the Constitution shall be deemed to be ratified by the people of Alaska to become effective as provided in the Constitution. Section 5. Submission of Constitution. Upon ratification of the Constitution, the governor of the territory shall forthwith transmit a certified copy of the Constitution to the President of the United States for submission to the Congress, together with a statement of the votes cast for and against ratification. Ordinance number 2, the Alaska-Tennessee Plan. Section 1, Statement of Purpose. The election of senators and a representative to serve in the Congress of the United States being necessary and proper to prepare for the admission of Alaska as a state of the Union, the following sections are hereby ordained. Section 2. Ballot. Each elector who offers to vote upon the ratification of the Constitution may, upon the same ballot, vote on a second proposition, which shall be as follows. Shall Ordinance number 2, the Alaska-Tennessee Plan of the Alaska Constitutional Convention, calling for the immediate election of 2 United States senators and 1 United States representative be adopted? Yes or no? Section 3. Approval. Upon ratification of the Constitution by the people of Alaska and separate approval of this ordinance by a majority of all votes cast for and against it, the remainder of this ordinance shall be effective. Section 4. Election of senators and representatives. 2 United States senators and 1 United States representative shall be chosen at the 1956 general election. Section 5, terms. 1 senator shall be chosen for the regular term expiring on January 3rd, 1963, and the other for an initial short term expiring on January 3rd, 1961, unless when they are seated, the Senate prescribes other expiration dates. The representative shall be chosen for the regular term of 2 years expiring January 3rd, 1959. Section 6, qualifications. Candidates for senators and representative shall have the qualifications prescribed in the Constitution of the United States and shall be qualified voters of Alaska. Section 7, other office holding. Until the admission of Alaska as a state, the senators and representative may also hold or be nominated and elected to other offices of the United States or of the territory of Alaska, provided that no person may receive compensation for more than one office. Section 8, election procedure. Except as provided herein, the laws of the territory governing elections to the office of delegates to Congress shall, to the extent applicable, govern the election of the senators and representative, territorial, and other officials shall perform their duties with reference to this election accordingly. Section 9, independent candidates. Persons not representing any political party may become independent candidates for the offices of senator or representative by filing applications in the manner provided in section blah blah blah. Insofar as applicable, applications must be filed in the office of the Director of Finance of the territory on or before June 30th, 1956. Section 10, party nominations. Party nominations for senators and representatives shall, for this election only, be made by party conventions in the manners prescribed in Section 38, 1949, for filling a vacancy in a party nomination occurring after a primary election. The names of the candidates nominated shall be certified by the chairman and secretary of the Central Committee of each political party to the Director of Finance of the territory on or before June 30th, 1956. Certification. The Director of Finance shall certify the names of all candidates for senators and representatives to the Clerks of Court by July 15th, 1956. The Clerks of Court shall cause the names to be printed on the official ballot for the general election. Independent candidates shall be identified as provided in Section 38. Candidates nominated at party conventions shall be identified with appropriate party designations as is provided by law for nominations at primary elections. Ballot forms. Who elected? The ballot form shall group separately the candidates seeking the regular Senate term, those seeking the short Senate term, and candidates for representative. The candidate for each office receiving the largest number of votes cast for that office shall be elected. Duties and emoluments. The duties and emoluments of the offices of senator and representative shall be as prescribed by law. Convention assistance. The president of the Alaska Constitutional Convention or a person designated by him may assist in carrying out the purposes of this ordinance. The unexpended and unobligated funds appropriated to the Alaska Constitutional Convention by Chapter 46 may be used to defray expenses attributable to the referendum and the election required by this ordinance. Alternate effective dates. If the Congress of the United States seats the senators and representative elected pursuant to this ordinance and approves the Constitution before the first election of state officers, then Section 25 of Article 15 shall be void and shall be replaced by the following. The provisions of the Constitution applicable to the first election of state officers shall take effect immediately upon the admission of Alaska into the Union as a state. The remainder of the Constitution shall take effect when the elected governor takes office. Abolition of fish traps. Ballot. Each elector who offers to vote upon the ratification of the Constitution upon the same ballot, vote on the third proposition, which shall be as follows. Shall Ordinance Number 3 of the Alaska Constitutional Convention prohibiting the use of fish traps for the taking of salmon for commercial purposes in the coastal waters of Alaska be adopted, yes or no? Effective referendum. If the Constitution shall be adopted by the electors, and if a majority of all the votes cast for and against this ordinance favor its adoption, then the following shall become operative upon the effective date of the Constitution. As a matter of immediate public necessity, to relieve economic distress among individual fishermen and those dependent upon them for a livelihood, to conserve the rapidly dwindling supply of salmon in Alaska, to ensure fair competition among those engaged in commercial fishing, and to make manifest the will of the people of Alaska, the use of fish traps for the taking of salmon for commercial purposes is hereby prohibited in all the coastal waters of the state. And then it ends with a photo from June 30th, 1958, Statehood Celebration. It's a black and white photo, shows a bunch of men in suits holding up a flag, an American flag, and it says, Alaska's Governor M.A.K.E and congressional advocates for statehood were jubilant in the nation's capital on June 30th, 1958, after Senate passage of the Alaskan Statehood Bill. I'm such a nerd. By a vote of 64 to 20. Who were the 20 who voted against it? Celebrating Alaska's official statehood over a 49-star flag outside the Senate chamber. It was not 50 stars. Hawaii was not a state yet. Outside the Senate chamber, after the bill's passage, were, from front to left, Ernest Greening, former Alaska governor, Senator Frank Church, Democrat from Idaho, Senator Thomas Kuchel, Republican from California, Governor Stepovich, Senator Henry Jackson, Democrat from Washington, floor manager of the bill, Wally Hickel, GOP chairman for Alaska, Senator Arthur Watkins, Republican from Utah, go Utah, and Senator Richard Neuberger, Democrat from Oregon. Look at all those dudes. Can you see it? A lot of people worked really hard for a long time for Alaska to become a state. And I just read the whole Alaska Constitution. If you are one of maybe 2 people on the planet that will actually watch all these videos and watch this to the end, thank you. I love you. God bless you. God bless Alaska. God bless America. Amen. And as always, you have to watch me walk off because I'm not going to edit. Bye.